Okay, we are live, baby.
Indeed, we are. I'm cracking open, for YouTube's intents and purposes, it's a soda. Uh, yeah, I'd say it's low enough alcohol content. It could be considered a soda.
Yeah, what do they call those? Rattlers, I think. Rattlers. They're
What's a
like
Rattler?
it's basically I think it's based out of Germany, and basically they are beers with such low alcohol content. They're roughly like 2% alcohol on average.
Oh wow,
Yeah, and they're pretty much
that's
more.
like it's not even a beer at all, dude. This is like double that blood con or the alcohol content at the blood alcohol level. That's the thing that I exceed all the time when I drive. I'm kidding. I'm not. I don't drink and drive. That's dangerous. Don't do that.
I mean, that
Um,
sounds like a strong soda you have in your hand, sir. That's a strong soda.
it's a strong soda indeed, sir. A
Yeah.
strong soda indeed.
But yeah, Rattlers are basically like fruit sodas with like a little bit of a buzz. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if it's just a little bit of buzz. Like, I mean, like if you're a lightweight like my buddy Rebel, then sure. But like, no.
How many does he drink and he gets like turnt?
Even like two or three does it to him. Honestly, two or three beers, like or two or three drinks, I should say as well. I guess could be the equivalent. Like, yeah, it's he gets turned in pretty quickly. It was funny because we were celebrating his birthday. His birthday was this last Wednesday of last week, and then so we went out on Saturday night, and I got to see Four Beer Rebel, which I've never seen before, which was very fun. It was very
Huh.
fun.
That is pretty wicked, honestly.
Yeah, sweet man.
All right, we hit about the almost 2 minute mark, so I think we could just say fuck, shit, piss, ass.
Oh boy, we can start cursing like a sailor.
Oh
Oh
my
boy.
god. I'm about to cream these jeans right now.
Mean green and in these jeans, dude.
Young, dumb, and full of cum.
Young dumb, young dumb, full of cum. You like the lead song?
Oh my god, man. Imagine that fucking thing hits the radio, bro.
Yeah, for real. Young, dumb, and full of cum on the radio, just like Ram Ranch, dude.
Oh my god. Don't even start on fucking Ram Ranch, bro. Like the clean version is just as funny as the dirty version.
Wait, there's a clean version
Yeah,
of that?
there's a clean version, yeah. It's like what is this? Something like 18 happy friends hanging out, pillow fight.
That's still really good. Yeah, that's totally
Shit like
perfect.
that.
Yeah.
I'm just like I can tell how hard they're trying to censor it, but it's still coming off as really funny.
I was at Folsom Street Fair this last Sunday, dude,
Oh
and that
yeah.
shit was great. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I have not actually.
So it's in reference to Folsom Street in San Francisco, which San Francisco is probably one of the gayest cities in the country.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
literally everyone references it, so yeah.
but yeah, so it was a kink festival, which was so Rebel and and Bella and a bunch of other people came out uh to the event. They didn't come out the closet. I think they came out a long time ago. But like anyway, so like
Yeah.
um it was really crazy, dude, because it was just like it was so many butt ass naked dudes just walking around, dicks hard. One of them had like like he was being walked on a leash, but the leash was attached to his cock. It was like, oh my god, dude, it was insane.
Holy
And it was
shit.
like, and then I literally saw a dude giving another dude a head. I was like, fuck yeah, man, the vibes, dude, fucking feel it, man. Um,
Wow.
it was crazy, dude. Oh my god, and like, yeah, and there were just titty. It was just so many ass, titties, and dicks, dude. It was like crazy. It was just so much going on out in the beaten sun. I was hearing from friends who went with me. I didn't observe this. I kind of wish I did because that would have been fucking awesome. Is there was apparently a circle jerk of dudes against a wall in a corner,
What the
and it was like
fuck?
fucking perfect. It was just great, man. It's just like everyone's just, and then there was like public like spankings and shit. Like they made shows out of it. It was just crazy, dude. It's such a Aaron. So my uncle Aaron always used to tell me about it when we were living together because I mean, he's gay, so he's very much invested in that community. And it was mostly, I mean, it's a kink thing, right? So there was like a lot of puppy play too, and there was some furries. I was like, fucking feel it, man. I love it.
Honestly,
But
vibes. Fucking
there's
vibes.
no kink shaming in my household here, okay? I do not kink shame. A lot of it's not really for me, but like I respect those who, there was a woman just walking around with nothing but a strap on, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And some shoes, of course.
I
Because it
mean,
was hot
yeah.
asphalt. But no,
I'm
it was
I'm
like,
I'm just imagining now a woman with a strap on in like the Tims, like just out of all shoes picking the Tims.
That would be that's like some porno like funny shit. That would definitely be in a porno. Like it'd be like a that'd be like how they try to that's how they try to show one of them as butch and the other girl is like not. But anyway, like that's just yeah, that's how they would just put Tim's on the one. Well,
The
she'd take off everything, but she'd have like shorts, like the Dickie shorts with the black belt and the tank top and like a backwards hat. That's how butch she would be, and she would take off all of that except like just the Tims and the strap on stay on during sex. Um,
I
that
should
would be
tweet that
that would
now.
be
I should
interesting.
tweet that the fucking two genders, like high heels and the Tims.
There are only two genders. Either high heels or yeah, I fuck with
Either
that tweet.
stilettos or Tims.
Facts, dude. But no, it was crazy, man. It was like probably one of the most eventful days I've had in a while. It was fucking just it was awesome because I've also been like on a self discovery trip, dude, and I'm pretty sure like I'm bi. I'm pretty sure I'm bi. So I was like, fuck yeah, this is like sweet, man. It was cool to observe. Um, but no, it was very interesting. Very yeah, just whew.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very worth it though. I was very glad I went. I definitely want to go next year. It's you just gotta experience it. It's not for the faint of heart. If you're some like really sheltered type or you've got like some Catholic guilt bullshit that you can't like really get down in bed, don't fucking go. Like it's certainly not for everybody. But for those that are there, everyone's like very respectful. It's like it's very
Yeah.
cool. No one's like pulling any weird shit. But it was just so stark to see so many naked people walking around. Not just and mostly naked dudes. Mostly old gay naked dudes, which again I respect the fuck out of. That's very like because the older ones especially they grew up during like Stonewall and shit. So I'm like, all right, you're finally like able to be prideful about this shit without fear with a significantly reduced fear of like death because I'm sure it's like there's still that risk. People are very homophobic. Fuck homophobes. But anyway, so no,
See,
it was very cool.
see, I respect those guys because those are the veterans that I fucking respect, man. I respect those guys more than I would respect a fucking 20 or 30 something year old in the army right now. Like that's the level where I'm at.
I think you're right, dude. I think gay dudes, old gay dudes, respect more need more respect than like veterans for sure.
Yeah.
Um, because they're just as hardened. And they're also
Exactly,
probably hard.
and they couldn't even like fucking fight really, like physically, like an actual veteran over fucking seas in a war zone, like
Mhm.
for the most part they had to like take it and do like fucking peaceful protests, actually show like, oh, we want to be accepted, be like equal to everyone else.
And they were getting the shit beat out of them, dude. Like
Yeah,
shit. It
fucking
was it's horrendous. I mean, it's still pretty horrendous in a lot of areas of the country. I'm sure. We live in California, which is a bit of um, a definitely more progressive, more I don't want to say bubble, but like it's a different culture, right? So like I mean like the interesting thing about the United States is each state and even like just even sections of the state have like very different cultures
yeah,
from everywhere else in the country. It's very interesting, and it's like each state could pretty much be its own kind of like nation kind of thing, which is
yeah,
also you put that into scale of how big the U.S. is. It's huge. I mean, it's a whole ass continent.
yeah, pretty much.
So it's like it's just yeah, it's insane to think about. I do want to explore more of it though. The next spot I want to go to in the U.S. I'd actually like. I'd be kind of. I know we were just dragging on some like culturally conservative states, but like Tennessee, I'd be down to go to Tennessee, man. Pretty cool.
I mean, drink the fucking bourbon straight from the source, bruh.
Facts, dude.
Yeah,
Facts. And
Tennessee whiskey, baby.
there's this place in Nashville called Howlin' Ray's, I think it is. Like
Yeah,
this hot chicken place. I love hot chicken. I love spicy chicken. Um, it always fucks me up. I go to this place in San Jose called Scratch Cookery, and I got the highest level I've gotten so far. They have like levels to this shit. Their level 5 is habanero and ghost pepper. That's like the spiciest I've done, and that shit like I couldn't even finish the tendies I got, dude. I mean, there were two big ass pieces, and I probably had like one and a half tendy. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it was insane. And then their highest level though is like a level 7, which is I shit you not, it is ghost pepper, habanero, scorpion pepper, and Carolina Reaper.
Jesus fucking Christ, man! Are you trying to like kill your lower intestine? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like me and Jack are like we keep talking about like gotta try it, man, but like I think we need to like split it when we go. We can't because he did the first time we went. He jumped the gun. I went to level 3, which was like Thai chili and cayenne, which is like that's the comfortable spice for me. And like people can hate in the comments, but like I'm Swedish. We're not built for this shit. Our spiciest shit is pepper,
Yeah.
and so like I'm not built for it. So like this just the Thai chili and the cayenne, it gives enough heat, but not too much where I'm shitting for days, right? So like,
Yeah.
but no, the first time we went, Jack jumped straight to the 5, and like I was like, bro, but he finished the sandwich, so I gotta respect. That was fucking tight. And they're big ass sandwiches too. They have there.
Okay, see, like, if you're gonna do that next time, you gotta, like, if you're gonna actually go to level 7, what you gotta do is, like, you gotta take maybe, like, 2-3 days off. Do it on the first day, like, early afternoon. That way you have time to recover.
Oh yeah, because the next week I do have a week between my jobs, so I can get like really fucked up. Because they open on Wednesday. Yeah, because I'll get fucked up Wednesday. I'll be fine by Friday. Let's go, dude.
Yeah. And maybe don't drink while you're doing it, too. Like, maybe, like, at most, like, a beer or something with the food. But,
I
like...
think what I need to do is like I'll go find like a local grocery store. I'll bring like fucking like a gallon of milk with me, and I'll have the chicken there, and I'll just be chugging the milk as I'm like fucking trudging along.
Yeah.
Which
And
might
then...
actually make it worse because like I'm discovering, well, maybe it's just I eat massive amounts of cheese, but I'm discovering I'm not as able to handle lactose as I was once able to in my youth. So maybe chugging milk on top of like spicy foods is not going to be a good combo for my stomach.
No, that's
For my
not
lower
gonna...
intestine.
Yeah, that's not gonna help you. What is some shit that, like, would neutralize that but won't fuck up your stomach too bad? Like, I'm
Well,
thinking...
actually, citrus. Citrus actually, that's what Gordon Ramsay was doing on Hot Ones. He got like
Oh.
limes and shit, and was like squeezing that like directly into his mouth and stuff, dude. Apparently that like helps counteract it. There's also like, he had donuts. I think he was saying it was like the sugars or something. I can't remember what the reason was. It was canceling out the spice.
See, now that would fuck my stomach up even more. Like, bruh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I feel like you know what? I feel like I'll be accomplished when I like get the level 7. And if I even just have like a bite or two, I'm like, you know what? I did it. I tried it.
Yeah.
I'm experiencing pain for the next hour in my mouth. It'll be a burning sensation, but I'll have done it.
Oh my god. Yeah. God. I can't imagine that. Like, fucking, we went to, like, Nate's Hot Chicken. Is that what it's called, right?
Dave's Hot Chicken.
Dave's Hot Chicken. Okay, sorry.
They
Sorry,
just opened one in
Dave.
Sunnyvale.
Sorry, Dave. But yeah, no, we went to Dave's Hot Chicken. I fucking, like, went, like, no spice. I did not want to fuck around with any of that spice.
I think honestly, when I go to Scratch next time, I do want to try their without the spice and just try the regular fried chicken and see what that's like. Because I mean, if their spicy one is already flavorful and juicy and fantastic, I mean, literally like, and this is not hyperbole. Like Scratch is like probably the best chicken I've had in recent. Nothing else is comparable. But I just wanna see what it's like without the heat, without the burning, without the pain. Because that's the funny thing about spice is like spice is not processed as a people think of it as a flavor. It's actually neurologically like processed as pain.
Yeah. No, it's funny, too. Like, I treat, like, naked chicken like that. I guess in my definition, naked, because there's no spice or anything. Like, the same thing with...
I think that's a fair term for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I treat naked chicken like I would drinking like straight alcohol versus having a cocktail. Because like if you make a cocktail, it can be a shitty alcohol, and you can make a pretty good cocktail out of that. If you try the alcohol first, you know it's a good quality stuff. So when you make it into a cocktail, it's just gonna be better.
I think you have a point about the masking of flavors, um, because with cocktails, I was going to make the point about cocktails is it's a good cocktail when you can't taste any liquor in it, but it's also like dangerous, which is cool.
That is also very true. Hold up.
Huh?
Oh no! Keep going. If you got a story, keep going.
Okay, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I went to the bar last week, and this is like the first time in 5 years I've ordered a White Russian at the bar, and actually got one. I ordered a Caucasian, and they made it, and it was actually like really good. It was really really flavorful, really smooth. There's a really good one. I think I was probably talking about this on the last episode or something. I might have brought it up, but there's like There's this place we go to in Sunnyvale that does it's Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Like I think it's like a shot of that into a White Russian, which like makes it even like better, dude.
Dude, because Screwball peanut butter whiskey is so fucking good on its own. You don't even need to mix it, but if you mix it with something, god damn, a White Russian, fuck.
I think
Oh.
Jack ordered a peanut butter old fashioned, which was pretty good. It was just an old fashioned, but like peanut butter. It's like it's
I feel like that's
nothing too extraordinary.
no, but I feel like that's like great on so many levels because like the bitters would then tone down some of the peanut butter flavor just enough where it's like it still feels like a cocktail, but it's like very smooth going down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your fucking friend's a genius. Seriously, Jackson's a fucking genius.
He likes old fashions. I think that was the first drink his dad taught him.
Well, not only that, but like a lot of rockers back in the day, even metalheads would order an old fashioned. Yeah.
Mm. I Maybe I'll do that next time I go to the bar. I usually my go-to is a whiskey sour. I actually got Jack on the whiskey sour, which was cool too. I'm not much of a whiskey person, but if it's mixed well enough with lemonade and hides like the whiskey flavor, I can do it.
No, I feel that. I feel that. I'm more of a Manhattan guy than an old fashioned guy. I think.
Mm.
But granted, I hate the fact that like Manhattans are typically served in a coupe glass, and every time I make one, I'm like, fuck, if I spill this, god damn it. It's like right to the fucking brim. Like it's not. It tastes great, but sometimes it's almost not worth it.
Well, that's just how it measures out, man. I mean, that's why you have to be very. Yeah, and that's the thing at bars too. Is like they very much pour to the rim. So I'm always quickly like grab my drink, then I just carefully, strategically walk over to where the fuck I'm sitting. It's very stressful. It's very, especially feel like if it's like your third or fourth drink, you're already a little frazzled, and you're like, fuck, I don't want to like stumble and spill and shit. That's like gonna make a mess, and like someone's gonna have to clean it up. Someone could slip on it. I don't want to do that shit to somebody.
Yeah.
That's just me getting in my head. But anyway.
No, I get that. That's also the same with me ordering margaritas at like a restaurant.
Totally.
Yeah, because they have the big fucking like coupe glass essentially.
I remember that. I remember that first time we got margaritas when I turned 21, and I was with you guys. We were like, "What was that? What's that Mexican restaurant?" It's fuck, I can't remember.
Zoros, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not Zoros. It's some other one that we went to. Um, but I do know Zoros. Zoros is great. But
Where was the restaurant? Was that like back in the Bay Area or like down south?
no, I'm pretty sure it was down. It was down at the Central Coast with you guys. I just don't remember. I really try to remember. I just remember it being a huge glass. Frozen margaritas are hella good. I had one of those for the first time. Um, it was Bella, Rev, and I. We went out to. Oh God, what was the? I cannot remember things now. Lucas, I think it was called. It's in Campbell.
Oh,
At the
okay.
Brewing Yard. It's really cool, man. It's kind of a like one of those fancy Mexican restaurants. It's not like a like I they're cool. Like the fancy Mexican restaurants are cool. They got good food. They got good drink. They got good service. But I just there's nothing that feels like that feels just like home to me, like a taqueria. You know what I mean? Like just like a hole in the wall fucking taqueria where like the bathroom functions as like a supply closet. You know what I mean? Like that's fucking magic. All it's about, dude. It's like I took Jackson to this one place because my last apartment I lived in, not the one before this one, um, it was in Sunnyvale and it was off of Hollenbeck there. And so like if you go a little further down, walking distance was like this place called Super Burrito from my apartment, and it was hella good, dude. I went there because I at that point I was living with like three other roommates in like a tiny 2 bedroom 1 bath apartment. And like one of them was always taking the fucking kitchen like 4 nights out of the week. I could never use it because she was always fucking cooking or having people over without fucking telling me. So it was like a whole thing. But anyway, so like yeah, I just hated living there. But no. So because she was always doing that, I would go at least once a week to that burrito place and get one of their burritos, which were just hella good, dude. So fucking good. And the people there like it's very much it feels they're nice enough. That doesn't sound good either. I was trying to think how to put this. They're very nice and they're very good at what they do. But certainly, there is some customer service skills lacking. I think I'm going to put it that way. They can be a little intense. They can give you kind of a mean mug, but like they're working in a hot kitchen all day, so I'm like, I'm cool, and they make good ass food. And I always try to be as polite as possible. I'm just like, oh, thank you, like very much, like, I don't ever want to like. I used to have been worked in fast food. I don't want to, or like in the food industry. I don't want to like um, I don't want to make anyone's day harder than it has to be because I remember how that was. But no, it's very good food. So I was glad to take them there for the first time. I used to go there like all the fucking time because it was just like I didn't even have to. Because parking on my street at that apartment sucked too. Because like there were only 6 spaces for all 6 apartments, and I'm pretty sure 2 of those were like guest spots if I remember that correctly. So it's like it wasn't even a full like one space per apartment. But then there's also like multiple people living in each apartment because it's Bay Area and it's expensive as fuck out here. And so it's
Yeah.
oh, it was so lame. So I didn't have to move the car. So I was like, all right. And there was also in that same lot, there was like a Taco Bell KFC. There was a Wingstop. There was a barbecue place I never tried. I think it was Mongolian barbecue. And I really should have. I feel bad not having done that. There was also McDee's nearby. That was like about a block away. There was a Subway.
Yeah, but Mickey D's is overpriced as fuck, though.
Huh?
Mickey D's is overpriced as fuck, though. That's the thing.
Everything's like gone up in price. It's like McDonald's, like, and the quality. It's not. If there's been improvement, it's not by much. So it's like the price gouge does not justify that. But like, I know that it's probably directly as a cause of like CEOs not wanting to lose whatever profits they're making, but they still have to pay employees more because everyone's talking about raising the minimum wage, which honestly it should be raised significantly higher than what the conversation's at now. But I mean, I don't think as long as I was talking to Jack about this, and this may be like a complex idea, it's a weird radical shit, but I think like just money really is the root of all of like all evil, right?
Yeah.
So like capitalism is like a filthy fucking business. Like, like humans, it's like, dude, the Greeks used to just lie around all day, and like they wouldn't, ancient Greeks, they would just lie around all day and talk about ideas, and there wasn't like, I mean, I'm not a historian here, but there wasn't like a lot of huge problems with that, right? Like people were still getting goods and services as they needed, but it wasn't problematic. And so like humans, the concept of like a job, of like waking up early as shit to go somewhere to do a bunch of things for some guy who owns a company, that's not how it kind of started out. Like, what I mean? It's all these small kind of ma and pa shops, right? These small towns that have like these General Mills stores or whatever the fuck, or there'd be like, Josiah would be selling fucking hay over on the corner, or whatever the fuck, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just be selling one fucking thing. But now there's like people have to be selling several things, especially after the Industrial Revolution, with the introduction of the assembly line and shit. It really capitalized on monotonous, repetitive labor, and then that led to people underpaying their workers and putting them in severely dangerous conditions and overworking them and stuff. And that continues to a great extent today. That like people are overworked and underpaid, and they're kept cheap. And it's like that's not how it should be, man. People shouldn't like. I really do think there should be like universal like basic income. People should have like basic access to like food and shelter and like fucking water. You know what I mean? Like but that shit costs money. That shit costs money.
Yeah, I mean,
I need to go like well, my utilities are included. But like imagine like if I had to like pay a water bill, right? I had to pay for the water that comes out of my tap, out of my shower, because I then have to go to work to earn that money. And then I've got other stuff to pay for. I got to pay the rent, I have to keep the roof over my head, I got to pay the electricity to watch TV, to fucking use the toaster oven air fryer thing I have.
Yeah.
I fucking like.
No, it's like the thing is like a lot of like people like skip over the fact that in like Western Europe, like places like Sweden, Norway, shit like that, like there is capitalism and it works, but it's like it's regulated capitalism. Like
Yeah.
it's a necessity for like, actually making the money to then like, go to like, social services with taxes and everything and provide people the goods that they need. So whereas here it's like such unregulated capitalism that you basically corporations make ungodly amounts of money and like give nothing back to the people essentially.
It's also like a very selfish idea of like you earned this money, it's yours, so you get to keep. But then again, it's like these CEOs didn't earn the fucking money. You've got a bunch of other lower people working below you to do the shit that you don't want to do, and then they just give you the fucking money. So it's like I don't like the astronomically rich like Elon Musk or Bezos or whoever the fuck.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom like maybe maybe I just don't have enough perspective or something. Or
well, no, it's like
path, but like
look, I have
I
a
can't
terrible
fathom having that much money.
like I have a terrible perspective when it comes to money, but like even I know that having like $90 million, that's a lot of fucking money. Like you can basically retire on that money. Like
You would not be able to. You could try to spend the rest of your lifetime like like billions, right? Like think of the like billion. That's a lot of fucking zeros. Like you could spend the rest of your life trying to spend. I couldn't even figure out what to do with $1 billion within like let's say like I'm like 25 now, so like let's say life expectancy of like another 60 years, right? In 60 years, I don't know how much of that billion I could spend. I'm actually gonna do the fucking math right now. How much I have to spend a year to fucking to get rid of $1 billion by the time I fucking croak. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
oh god, this calculator's not big enough. There we go.
Watch
Let's
boys,
see.
he's gonna do the math.
60 times 365. I gotta figure out how many days it is. Okay, so then. Dude, you have to spend like 45K a day.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god.
That's what I make. That's almost it's like a lot less, not a lot, but it's a bit less than what I make in an entire fucking year. Like I could not imagine spending my yearly salary in a single day. You know what I mean? Like that's just like that's why if I got rich, I like to think that like I'd keep enough for myself to be like I'm living comfortably, saving, I'm doing fine, and the rest I would like try to pour into like a nonprofit that could keep going and like keep helping people and doing shit, right? And like trying to make great change, doing humanitarian shit. And like just the fact that that's lost on people like that there's a musician I follow, Ali Jade, check her out, she's fucking great, viewers. So she was talking about like people who like travel a lot, right? They have the money and the opportunity to be able to like just travel the world and do vacation bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And like she was saying like I guess I don't know if I've ever experienced this, but like the utter gall of people who like don't understand that like not everyone else gets to fucking fly. Like plane tickets are very expensive. You know what I mean? Like just saving up for one is like all right, in a year I'm gonna take a fucking trip out to somewhere, right? Like a round trip, I have to save up for that shit, right? Like you have to plot that shit. And there are people who just get to do that on the regular without having to think about it, and like the obliviousness to that is it just really shows a lot of privilege, and like that's fine. Like I don't think people should be blamed for the privilege they've obtained, but I do think they should be certainly held to not like a scrutiny, but like I don't know, held to a sort of standard where it's like they should have an awareness of like okay, yeah, I've got these resources. And I think the job of someone, the responsibility, the ethical responsibility of a person who has privilege, is to help those who are underprivileged in whatever capacity it may be, whether it be wealth, race, whatever the fuck it is, right? Like you have a responsibility to try and like upbring those who don't have that privilege, who don't have that opportunity. You know what I mean? It's like that's but yeah, I mean, but it's my money and I made it and blah blah blah. So anyway.
Dude, like I can't imagine having ungodly amounts of money. Like if I did have that amount of money, I would not want to keep it for long. I want to start my own like, research facility, honestly, just to do something with the money before it corrupts me.
I would feel like if I kept it there and like if I had won the lottery tomorrow, right? Let's say I won like big, like 400 million, whatever the fuck, right? Like if I put that shit in my savings, every day that I'm not using it to do something positive, I'm like I feel like I'm fucking wasting it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's horrendous. But I think also like especially with the development of a capitalist society, and a society that runs on money, um, it's very much akin to what Bill Hicks said. There's no such thing as fucking freedom, right? If you think you're free, try going somewhere without money.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing it, but that's pretty much essentially the point.
If you think anything's free, try going anywhere without money. That's
If you think you're free,
if you
if
think
you
you're
think
free.
freedom matters more than money, go somewhere without money and see where that takes you. That's what his point is like that money is freedom. Money equals freedom in a society that's built around it, right? So like I hear from clients about this all the time. Right? So my clients are homeless. They most often have a history of homelessness, right? Like
Yeah.
you walk into a shop, let's say, like you walk into a 7-Eleven, and you're trying to get some water. Well, okay, there's water on the shelves. It's $3 a bottle. Well, fuck, do I have $3? You don't even have the freedom to enjoy a nice, cold, refreshing water on a hot fucking day if you don't have any money. Just like think about that, and like think about the word cost. Think about the phrase "cost of living." It costs to live.
Yeah, fucking. There was a meme that like hit me way too hard. It was like, the Chad-looking guy, talking to like a monkey. It's like, look at that stupid monkey, and the monkey turns to him and says, "You're the only animal on Earth that has to pay to live here."
Actually, yeah, that's no cap.
That like just think about that. Like humanity is the only animal on Earth that pays to
Birds
live.
just be. I got birds shitting on my windows over here in the kitchen. Motherfuckers just be hanging out.
Yeah.
They're not paying anything. They're not paying rent.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up.
Man.
I gotta pay to be here, man. It's fucked up. Wow, that's man.
Well, to avoid that depression,
we need to return to monkey. Is I think the summation of this discussion. We need to return to monkey.
To cure depression, we need to return to monkey.
To cure the depression of the modern man, we must return to monkey.
Sitting around shitting and masturbating, bro. That sounds like a life.
That sounds like my mornings, but like
that sounds like me if I had no job.
Actually, yeah, I feel like I need to make next week when I'm in between jobs. I need to make next week productive. I'm like going to spend the first day cleaning the apartment. The second day, I'm going to get really high that I forget what day it is.
And then third day, you shit and masturbate.
Exactly. Third day, I'm going to shit and masturbate all day, dude. Fucking just, God, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's not natural. Jobs are not a natural thing. Like waking up to an alarm is not a natural thing. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so thankful on my weekends where I don't have to turn that shit on. I can just like sleep in as much as I want. I mean, my body naturally wakes me up now because of my schedule at like, I want to say latest I can sleep in is like 9. Unless it's a night of heavy drinking. Then it's like 11. But anyway.
Dude, that's why I have so much more appreciation for the song Time by Pink Floyd, because the song itself is a fucking masterpiece if you truly analyze it.
Okay, to explain, elaborate.
Okay.
I want to hear your analysis of this, because I've heard it several times. I've heard it a couple times under the influence, but go on.
Okay, so the song starts off with like a blaring alarm, like on a clock. And then like a bunch of chimes and whatnot. So obviously the song is going to be about time. It's going to be about that specific subject. But then the intro is like, it's barely any instruments going on. And so you're kind of like...
It's just noises, yeah.
So you're waiting for it to kick off. You're waiting in this moment of time till the actual like instruments kick off.
Oh, you're spending time waiting to hear the song Time. Okay.
Exactly. And then
I like that shit.
And the song kicks off, and most of the lyrics is about like, you're sitting around. taking away, the moments that make up a dull day. And with the running themes going on, it's like it's obviously about like how you feel like you're wasting your life and like waiting for the gun to start, where you go off on the race and actually like do something with your life instead of just like mulling around and then eventually coming to the realization that everything's gonna grow old with time, and so will you, and so you will die.
Mm-hmm. It's that mortality, man. It's that question of mortality.
Exactly. But at the same time, with the starting of the song being like an alarm clock going off, it could be interpreted that we are all slaves to the concept of time and how we, build our lives around like, time for work, social, like, private life, everything. Like it's all on a tightly, like schedule and whatnot. So it's like very
It's
meta.
taken away, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. We do very much. There's certainly necessary functions to time, right? You have to like schedule doctor's appointments and shit. I'm sure, like, I'm sure. I wonder what it must have been like trying to. It must have just been a lot of walk-ins before, like, watches or clocks were invented for humans. People were just like, Doc, I need to talk to you. It's like, well, shit, I'm kind of in the middle of someone else. All right, I'll wait. Like, it's like he was just always fucking backed up. So that could like help a bit. But like, that's a good example. That's a good point about I didn't really think about it. We really do think about. Like you and I plotted like, all right, we're gonna meet at 8 on Skype to fucking do the call. It's like we have to schedule our fucking lives in the pod around it. Now we're talking about it on the pod.
Exactly.
Oh, that's weird. That's crazy. Speaking of meta, I'm gonna do a complete shift in conversation.
Okay.
I went to go see this movie, See How They Run. I saw it last Monday, and so it's like a who's done it, and they make it very poignant. But that's the plot. It's very meta, and I'm going to get to that in a second. And so it's kind of a buddy cop thing too, where it's Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan. They're both shining it. They're both fantastic as always. They're hilarious. It's a very funny movie too. It's very comedic. So I think it's honestly being. I was going to say it's satire, but it's parody, actually, because satire and parody are different in this way, and this is my bookworm coming out. But it's like satire is a form of art that critiques a certain idea or practice, but doesn't necessarily engulf itself in that. Parody does sort of the same thing, but it uses the medium that it's critiquing. And so I think that's what this movie is. It's kind of parody. And so it's like it's about a play of an Agatha Christie story. And Agatha Christie, for those who don't know, she wrote murder mystery novels back in like it was the Roaring '20s.
Exactly. Think Murder on the Orient Express. Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile.
Shit like that.
What other ones did she? Right, I'm trying to that weren't turned into movies necessarily, but anyway, so
yeah.
So it's about this. They're doing a play of it. There's this group of actors, and then there's a Hollywood producer or director. I think he was. That's right. A Hollywood director who comes in and wants to adapt it into a film for the big screen. It's set in like the 1950s, so like put it in that perspective. And so but then he gets murdered, and so now Sam Rockwell, the ace detective, is trying to figure out who did it, who done it. Like that's the whole thing. But the movie, like it's great. It's funny. There are definitely parts of it I like a lot. It's a very enjoyable watch. I probably won't go out to the theater to see it again, but I may, like, if it shows up on a streaming service, I may watch it one more time. But that's also the thing about a murder mystery is it doesn't have a lot of rewatch value. Like, you probably watch it like a couple more times and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is where I missed that, this is where I missed that. And then after that, you're kind of just like done with the movie, you know what I mean? Which, like, that's fine, right? But not all movies are made for, like, rewatching. But it was fourth wall breaking almost, because it was just like, it gave me like the new Scream vibes, where it was like the characters were talking about how like the movie adaptation of the story should end, and like all these different things and like all these different factors. And even like from the get-go, they were talking about like, oh yeah, it's the most unlikable character who always gets killed in the beginning, and Adrian Brody does play an asshole in the movie, so he is the most unlikable character who gets killed. yeah, it's just it's that took me out of it a little bit. But if I look at it from the lens of it being a parody, it like helps to stifle that a little bit. So it was just very meta, which is why I broke onto that tangent. It's a very meta film. Um, Again, Saoirse Ronan and Sam Rockwell killed it. They're both great. They're hilarious. It is a very funny movie too. It's just I think it's mostly a comedy. Um, I did have a good time with it overall. What else did I see this week?
You saw Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that on Saturday. Yeah, so actually I was pleasantly surprised, man. I was pleasantly surprised because it's not necessarily that like for any particular reason other than the drama that I had low expectations, right? The onset drama, like apparently Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles were dating. Harry Styles allegedly spit on Chris Pine, but then like I saw someone explaining that like Chris Pine was looking down in exasperation because he finally found his sunglasses he had like lost or whatever. I don't know what the, I don't care to know what that's about. And then you know what? Actually, I will say this. I agree with Harry Styles. You know, this movie really did feel like a movie. You know what I mean? It felt like a fucking movie. So it had that going for it. But it was actually Florence Pugh, as always, fucking shined. And she was fantastic. She had these great range of emotions. Uh, she was, yeah, it was. She was very good. She was very believable. I very much like was invested, and the movie really helps you, at least from my perspective of watching it. It really helps you put yourself in her shoes because like it's a whole thing about like questioning what's really going on and like what's supposed to be a utopia kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very cult vibes, and Chris Pine also does a great job of playing the cult leader, which is very cool. And Harry Styles, like he can't talk shit about acting, but he can act. I will attest to this. The man has some chops. I was impressed. The man has some chops. That was also one of my low expectations because I was like he's a good musician. I don't dog on his music. I actually like fuck with his vibe. I haven't listened to his new stuff yet, but I liked Fine Wine and I liked the one before that, Self-Titled Love. I think it was self-titled. Um, but no, he was definitely he wasn't terribly in it as much as I thought he would be because it seemed very much advertised that he's certainly in there, but he's not like a forefront. He's definitely like the supporting actor. And there's like some, and also what I appreciated about the film was the way it was directed. I think Olivia Wilde. I don't know if this is like her first movie she's directed. Do you think?
No, I
Does she?
think a previous one she did was Book Smart, I believe. That was her first
Oh,
like
she
direct.
did that.
Yeah, that was her. Yeah.
Oh, I actually haven't seen that one, but I wanted to. So I mean, I might go see that now because I mean, they're both very different films. But this one was actually like this was creepy at times. It was like and yeah, it was very it was very trippy too. Very trippy movie. Which at first I'm spending the whole movie I'm like the reason she's questioning the world is because like they're doing something like microdosing acid for her or something.
I had a
But no,
fucking feeling that's what that was. Like it had to be like
but
psychedelic drugs.
what you thought, right? But it's not. It's not. It's not. You're not going to be able to guess what it is. Dude. It's fucking crazy, and it's super cool. And it was actually like I. That's actually a film I definitely want to see again. That was actually like really. I was thoroughly impressed. I loved and maybe it's just like the nostalgia in me, but like I loved the late '50s, early '60s kind of aesthetic kind of vibe. It was very cool. Um, and it also helped feed into I think the overall themes of the film. Yeah, it was great. It was a great movie. It was funny because I came out of that movie and I was like I was meeting with Rebel that night and I was like well shit it was his birthday I gotta get him a gift and so I stopped by like one of those therapy stores right to pick up some stuff and I'm talking to the lady at the counter and she's like oh what are your plans for tonight and I was like a little stoned so I was like oh you know I'm just gonna go out to dinner with some friends and stuff and she was like oh cool and I was like, "What are you gonna do tonight?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm like maybe gonna go catch a movie." I'm like, "Oh, I just came for a movie. Like I saw Don't Worry, Darling." And I felt a little bad because I was like, I was out of it, so I was like, I didn't really feel like I sold the movie enough for her. I was like, "Yeah, it was good. I like wasn't really. It exceeded my expectations. Not necessarily that they were low or anything, but I was really trying to justify myself in a way. I don't know. I got very awkward in conversation. But no, it was definitely worth a watch if you I think you would enjoy the hell out of it. It's very, very, yeah. Again, it very much exceeded my expectations. So that was very cool. And again, some of the shit you're just not going to expect.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
The camera work is also very good too. She's very. I like the cut she does, and some establishing shots she has. Shots she has are fantastic. Um, and I mean, her part in it, she's also very good too. Um, again, she's not in it as much. Florence Pugh is kind of like the center stage, and she steals the fucking show. She's just a phenomenal actress. I really do need to see Midsummer. I need to see Midsummer. That's a great movie I've heard about. Isn't it? It's the same guy who did Hereditary, right?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved Hereditary. That movie fucked me up, honestly. But yeah, no, I need to see Midsummer. Yeah, man, that was crazy.
Oh, speaking of horror, I saw that new movie, Pearl, the prequel to X.
Oh, okay, so maybe I could watch that first anyway, because I haven't seen X yet. I wanted to last year. It came out last year, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. The trilogy they're making is like moving very fucking fast. They had like X come out, then they already had like a trailer at the end of the film's credits.
For the next movie?
Yeah, for Pearl. And I was like, oh shit, they're really moving forward with this fucking franchise.
Okay.
And then literally I was like, I bet you they're gonna pull the same shit with Pearl. So I sat through the entire credits, and then lo and behold, a very, very brief trailer for the third installment, Maxine.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in the movie X, it follows basically Mia Goth as like this, porn star, Maxine Minx. So, hence why the third one's going to be called Maxine. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are the? I mean, without giving too much away, what is the first movie about?
Okay, so the first movie, which is titled X, it is about a group of porn stars and also, filmmakers traveling in a van throughout Texas in the 1970s to a film location on a farm to, like, film their porno. Unbeknownst to the people renting out the little house on the farm that they're actually using for their, movie set. And the couple that owns this farm is like this elderly couple, and they're fucking creepy as shit. So things are about to go down.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh wow, I did not expect that at all. But I guess hence the title X. So.
A lot of fucking in that movie. Jesus Christ, way more sex than I thought there was going to be.
Nice.
It'll
be like the Folsom Street Fair on the big screen, dude.
Basically, I mean, shit. I think, I don't know if they made Kid Cudi wear like a prosthetic, but yeah, you basically see the shadow of his dick.
Yeah, they usually have him wear prosthetics in the movie. I think for Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds had to wear a prosthetic.
Yeah, during the naked fight scene in the fire, yeah. I love Ed Skrein because like he played such an evil bastard in that movie, but he is such a sweetheart in real life. He literally is just like, childishly trying to say like, the prosthetic, and he just keeps calling it Willie. Yeah. Like, yeah, mate, we put a Willie on, Ryan Reynolds for that scene. It was like, it was crazy.
It's Brian, man. He was good at playing the villain, man. That was a good ass. Deadpool is exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah. Oh, and so anyways, back to X. Pearl is a prequel to X, since X takes place in like 1979. Pearl takes place in 1918.
Oh, wow.
Because the elderly couple in X that owns the farm, the wife's name is Pearl, and she's like something like 80 years old in X. So in the prequel movie Pearl, she's basically about 20 years old, roughly, in 1918. Okay. Yeah.
She's a youngin', yep.
And so it basically follows her story into like total fucking murderous insanity. And it is surreal. It is one of the best horror films I've seen in a long fucking time.
Really?
Mia Goth is the it girl right now. Jesus Christ. Like, she's basically a young Toni Collette right now.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Like, she has a monologue in that movie that's like 6 minutes long, and you're just like, holy fuck, this is insane. And then she does this thing... What, sorry?
I need to watch these movies.
Yeah, and so at the end of Pearl, she does like this take where she's like smiling while the end credits are rolling, and it's a long like minute and a half, 2 minutes of just her smiling, and so obviously it strains your face smiling that long. And she's just holding the fucking take while like her face is like twisting and contorting. Like it's unnerving as fuck. Like it's insane.
That's that's great, man. I was just watching this video essay earlier today on on um, transformation horror, which is like a whole like category of horror that I didn't even think about. Like movies like The Fly or Videodrome or fucking what was the other one listed? There's one called Walrus. What is it? It's
Tusk, right?
Tusk. That's the one. It's the Kevin Smith one. Yeah, that
Holy
one's like crazy. Um, yeah, transformation horror. Like it's a very. I didn't even think about it that much. Like it's a very. It is a very. It's a subgenre of horror that like it contorts. And what good horror does is it shifts what we think of as human, right? It shifts it into some sort of like demonic monster, or whatever it may be, right?
yeah.
And that's what like good horror does. And so that's what was successful about the film. It sounds like because she was being very creepy and inhuman almost. So
Exactly. Like it's this running theme in the movie where she wants to be like, famous and be loved by everyone, but also at the same time knows that there is something insanely wrong with her and just instead of trying to fight it, just kind of go with it.
hmm
But another great movie that actually does like transformation horror quite well is this I guess you could say underrated vampire movie 30 Days of Night. Have you ever heard of that?
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Basically, this small town in Alaska has like this period where once a year for a whole month, it's basically like total darkness. Like the sun is just gone because Alaska.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of like Romanian vampires roll into that town and just start tearing it the fuck up. Like people getting bloodied and bodied left and right. It's insane.
Hell yeah.
And the vampires are really well designed because like the costume design they went for them was to have like their teeth and gums like kind of protruding from their mouths in such a way it's almost like an actual like demon is like trying to pop out of their own skin essentially, like protruded cheekbones and shit. Like it's just very enhanced their like facial structure.
Yeah, yeah. That's what the video was talking about. Was like a lot of body horror too, with like werewolf transformations in horror films, where it's these misshapings of what we think of as traditionally like a person, right? And so it's like that's what those vampires do is it bends what we think of as human. Another great film that does that, that's not so much supernatural but more science fiction, is The Thing, right? So like The Thing like takes this idea of like there's a parasite going around and the visual effects it has in the first one are crazy. Like they're just like the grossness, the grotesqueness, even the modulations of a dog, right? Like the dog morphed with like a bunch with the thing and a bunch of other fucking animals, right?
Yeah.
And it got all fucked up, right? And so it's like it's just this whole, but it was gross and it was awesome. And
uh
yeah, that's what good transformation horror does, or any good horror in general. It makes you like fearful of what doesn't remind you of humanity, or what maybe takes humanity and twists it and makes it to be unknown.
Speaking of like rising kings in the movie industry, fucking Jonathan Majors, bro. Like shit.
dude, dude, he's in this new movie, Devotion, that has one of the guys from Top Gun.
Oh
Two
yeah.
two movies in a year, he's playing a fucking pilot. That's like, but he just looks so much like a pilot, so it like works. But no, that movie looks insane, and Jonathan Majors looks like he's gonna like bring. He kills it in everything he does so far. Like I loved him in Lovecraft Country.
Yeah. The harder they
I'm
fall.
really eager to see him as Kang the Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror,
In,
yeah.
Khan is Star Trek. My bad. Sorry, nerds. I'm really excited to see him as Kang in the MCU. But yeah, this movie, he looks like he's going to be like fucking acting his heart out, dude. I'm excited.
Dude,
I'm excited for that.
I can't believe you missed though one of the greatest westerns of this past like year or so. Fucking
The harder they fall, how the fuck. Did I forget that?
Yeah, you did.
Excuse me. I did forget that. Pardon my faux pas. It has Zazie Beetz, Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, fucking the guy from Sorry to Bother You.
Regina King, like
Regina King, dude. Regina, she's a queen, dude.
fucking straight up, man. Jesus Christ, like.
Yeah, it's a crazy stacked cast. That's a fucking great movie. It's a fantastic soundtrack. I love that. It's very well acted. There's some great dialogue scenes that crack me the fuck up, and there's some other ones that I'm like, this is badass as fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, one of the greatest fucking lines in that movie is, like, the opening sequence when, like, the hero is, like, he murks this, like, guy he's been after the whole time. And, like, he's like, you can come on out now, father. Like, he's talking to a priest. And it's like, you can take that body there and turn it in for, like, $5,000. Put it to your church. Father says to him, it's like, why don't you take him in? Because I'm worth 10.
Yeah, dude, that's right. I forgot about that. That's so awesome. That movie's so fucking sweet.
The dialogue, the action sequences, the story, like, it only slows down a little bit, like, close to, like, the start of the third act. But, like, other than that, like, its momentum is, like, really good. It is so
it keeps up. It really develops the characters well. It really builds the world well. It's very interesting. And it's a mostly, if I got this right, it's a mostly black cast, right?
Yeah, I think, like, no white person shows up until, like,
it's like the fucking soldiers or whatever, like, guarding the train.
Yeah.
And, like, the white people getting robbed.
Yeah.
That shit. That was sweet.
Yeah, like, literally, there's only, like, 2 sequences in the movie that has, like, white people. Everyone else is, like...
I respect the fuck out of that creative choice. The sheriff was also cool as fuck, too. I don't remember what that actor's name is, but he's awesome.
Yeah, anyone who's, like, watches this podcast and, like, looks up the cast of that movie, you're gonna see that guy in, like, a bunch of things. Like, he's been around.
He's great, man. He's fucking great. But no,
also, he got to play the best character, like, because like, all these characters are, like, based on real people in the Old West, but Bass Reeves is one of the most notable figures in the Wild West.
Oh, that's right. He was like a real life sheriff, and he was super badass, right? He had like a crazy amount of like arrests or kills or whatever.
Yeah, he was the first black U.S. Marshal in American history, and a very successful one at that too. Over his 11-year, career, he is, credited with 3,000 arrests.
In 11 years, man.
Yeah.
He's bringing fucking law to that town he served, dude. That's crazy.
Also, because of his background, he was raised amongst, like, Native Americans, so he not only is very good at tracking, he also spoke, like, multiple languages.
Educated as fuck, dude.
Like,
educated as fuck.
He was a fucking beast when it came to delivering the law.
He was just laying it down, dude. It's been about an hour. What say you and I clock out?
I think we should clock out.
All right, this has been the 9 to 5, boys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next shift.
Catch you next shift.